Hello everyone. This is a brief presentation outlining the mechanism and protocols that are in place to avoid any data breach in our organization. At the same time, we will look at the dire need of improvising the cybersecurity culture to ensure a safe working experience. So to start with, let's have a general analysis of the threats we know that a successful cyber attack can cause major damage to any organization. The impact of a security breach can be financial, procedural, reputational, and legal in some instances. While looking at our current cybersecurity status, I can confidently say that we are at tier 2, where our policy is consistently applied and employees are all well informed of the risks. When I look at our current cybersecurity strategy, I'm happy to say that every stakeholder is involved. We all aim to achieve a high level of secure configuration, network security, managing privileges, user education and awareness, continuous monitoring. We also have removable media controls policy, and we have a strict policy while working from home and while using mobile phones for our work. Having said this, let's look at our assets and analyze any risks and think of the consequences in the event of an attack and try to find a solution beforehand. In terms of our servers, websites, and business processes, we cannot afford any risk to it as it is critical to our organization. We cannot afford any loss of data, any system failure, any malicious attacks, any file deletion, or not even any negative human intervention. So, what do we need? We need to create a triage matrix that will provide an understanding of the severity of an incident so that it can be prioritized quickly and correctly. Everyone in our organization is responsible to maintain the cybersecurity culture within or outside of the organization within our work capacity. If we look at a risk treatment plan, it will be linked to our financial side of the business. We need to answer the questions such as, are we investing in the right cybersecurity capabilities to properly protect our assets or not? What is the expected financial loss considering our cyber risk exposure? What is the cyber risk exposure, and how to capture and report cyber risk consistently with a business view. Coming to the next step of the plan, we need to have some controls to identify the prevention or protection strategies at each stage. We must have a control of access to devices. We must have a control to access the mobile devices, a control to access our web servers, and control to access the encryption of our data. In terms of minimizing the impacts of a cyber attack, we must also have cybersecurity incident response plan and cybersecurity risk management plan. When we talk about the incident response plan, we must ensure that the event of a security breach, the right personnel and procedures are in place to effectively deal with a threat. Secondly, if we have an incident response plan in place, we will also guarantee that a structured investigation can also take place to provide a targeted response to contain and remediate the threat. There are a few steps that we can take to have an immediate response team. We can establish a team, we can train our employees, we can test our plan, and we can learn from our mistakes. Considerations for an incident response planning is really important. We would like everyone's share in it, but most importantly, it requires the backing and support from the senior management. Senior leadership should also outline what do they want in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of the protocols, and in terms of the culture of the organization. We need to define the stakeholders too. We need to have their contact details so that if they are to be contacted even after the business and the working hours, it is possible for the response team. A clear communication should also be made about cybersecurity issues, and the protocols must be made clear. Ownership of sending the communications should be highlighted, and it should be assigned, and it should be very clear. There should be plans and procedures, and the response team should be responsible to execute them. Then there should be some automation of the incident response planning, or towards the incident response planning and understanding. If the automation is in place, then a reliable and finely tuned alerts can also be generated, and this can help the response team in the end. The last but not the least, considerations for a disaster recovery plan is also essential. It is designed to restore the functionality of a business. So we in our organization will look at it. It will be used to bring the business back online following a major natural or human induced disaster. Even if the business cannot function, then this disaster recovery plan will be required to bring the business back online. Thank you.